Welcome to Vegan Girls Melbourne 101, our monthly podcast to talk all things vegan and all things Melbourne. My name is Jenna and I've been a member of Vegan Girls Melbourne since mid-2020. Now, it has truly been a crazy last month in our little corner of Facebook. So, it's time to unpack all of the hottest topics that we discussed. I'll be reviewing the famous new Coles vegan salted caramel and chocolate cookies. Then I'll be joined by a nutritionist and Vegan Girls Melbourne local, Indiana Morgan, to answer your questions about protein powder. I will also discuss Boost Juice's controversial vegan range promo ad campaign. And finally, I'll take you girls through the highlights of our monthly restaurant recommendations. Let's jump right into it. Product review. It has been flooding our Facebook group for weeks, and I bet you've seen it all over your feed. That's right, it's the Coles vegan salted caramel and chocolate cookies. These cookies have slowly rolled out across stores in Melbourne this month. And according to Sarah, apparently they're now available in every Metro Coles that has a bakery. I bought mine from Coles Doncaster this morning, and I'm keen to see what all this hype has been about. All right, time to dig in. All right, I'm picking up one of the cookies. Here we go. Moment of truth. I think I feel sick. These are so sweet. I think there's just too much going on. I think that if Coles split the chocolate chip and the salted caramel and did two flavours instead of one, my taste buds right now would be less confused because there's just so much sweetness and I don't know what to concentrate on. I'm on the same side as Hannah, who says she doesn't like them. They're very sweet. She much prefers the Plantitude cookies from Woolworths. The texture's nice. I mean, it's kind of chewy on the inside, and on the outside, it's got this nice crunchy bite to it. Honestly, they're not my cup of tea, but I can see why some people who have a sweet tooth might like them. So those are my thoughts on the new Coles vegan cookies. I hope it's given you some insight. But yeah, if you see a new product post in our Facebook group, make sure you tag me in it so I can review it for next month's podcast. It's controversial. At the start of this month, Boost Juice posted a Facebook video promoting its new vegan smoothie range, which implied that catering to vegans is an inconvenience. Here's the ad.
You asked, we listened, and then said, kind of busy right now, maybe later.
Please get more dairy-free creamy stuff. Does Boost Juice offer other milks like soy or almond?
Lactose-free option?
Is it vegan?
Is it vegan? Is it vegan? Is it vegan?
Is it vegan?
You kept asking, we kept listening. Actually, it was more of a, fine. Introducing, it's totes vegan.
So yes, that was me narrating over the ad's music. However, what I said was exactly word for word what was in the ad. I think it's incredibly condescending. So the ad fueled a flood of anti-vegan Facebook comments, including nasty jabs such as, "This is another thing the vegans are ruining." And to make it worse, Boost Juice also laugh-reacted and jovially replied to these types of comments. So this issue lies in Boost Juice's overall attitude towards veganism. And from my research, it looked like we were at a 50-50 for supporting Boost Juice. So, on Team Boycott Boost, we have Maddie, who believes that Boost are pushing the idea that vegans are insane, the very stereotype that we're trying to get rid of. We also have Hannah, who asks, why are we the butt of their jokes when we are such a huge part of their customer base? And Moni says, I can't get behind a company who tries to make money off a community whilst also belittling them. And over on Team First World Problems, we have Bethany, who commented, this doesn't seem hateful. And Phoebe, who says, yes, it's a dumb marketing tactic, but I don't see the offence, it's just a bad joke. And finally, Lauren, who admits it's a bit annoying, but don't we have bigger things to worry about? Now, I think they are all interesting points, but I still have a few questions. Even though Boost offer vegan options, is buying from them condoning their hateful attitude and behaviour? Is it unethical? And another interesting question I have is, do they actually taste good? So, off the backs of that whole moral questioning, and for the sake of this podcast, I have ironically gone out and bought myself the vegan mango Passion Go. Honestly, it's good. Well, because it is coconut based, a lot of those flavours are coming through. In terms of the texture, there's a lot of seeds. As in, I think it's the passion fruit seeds. I'm not a huge fan of it because I do have to use my teeth to just... Oh, gross. I do have to like crunch to get through the drink, if that makes sense. It's not completely smooth and you do have a few glumps here and there. So I paid $7.50 for a medium, which usually, compared to Mango Magic, it would cost $7.30. But yeah, it's essentially good. I'd recommend it. Get down to Boost. If that doesn't go against your morals, of course. So, to wrap things up, I think this would have been a great opportunity for Boost to promote the idea that you don't need to be vegan to try plant-based drinks. Boost could have also highlighted how they've made their menu more accessible to dietary requirements, and all they had to do was be a bit less snarky. Well, with all of that in mind, all I have to say is that Boost's vegan drinks don't taste as salty as their promo campaign. It's the restaurant recommendation road trip. First stop, Northern Suburbs. The Glass Den is a vegan, halal and dog-friendly cafe in Coburg, located in the old Pentridge prison. Visit the Glass Den for a vibrant, Insta-worthy brunch. Tracy recommends the Pink Panther pancakes. Eastern Suburbs. The Full Pantry in Croydon is a bulk food store. Their in-house cafe offers fresh and healthy breakfast and lunch. Fuel up on an acai bowl before shopping for your Whole Foods. Southern Suburbs. Matcha Bar in St Kilda offers a 100% plant-based menu, including vegan eggs and vegan chicken. Make sure you try their homemade pancake parlour for a range of sweet and savoury treats. Western Suburbs. Located in Spotswood, Graysland is a unique waterfront dining experience. Packed with food trucks, live music, bars, city views and vegan options, it is the perfect date idea. I recommend catching a movie next door at the Science Works Planetarium afterwards. Last stop, CBD and Inner City. Got a tight budget? Gopal's Vegetarian on Swanston Street offers wholesome lunch and dinner from just $7. Jen suggests you try their roti and curry. Hello, I'm joined by the wonderful Indiana Morgan, who is a certified nutritionist and a true local of the Vegan Girls Melbourne Facebook group. Indiana, thank you for joining us today.
Thanks so much for having me.
I've been really looking forward to this conversation and to pick your brains about all things protein powder. Before we get into that, I'd really love to learn a bit about your business. Could you tell me a bit about that?
Yeah, sure. So I've been a nutritionist for about 7 years now. I've been vegan for 8 years now. So my vegan journey kind of turned me into a nutritionist. Before that, I was a personal trainer, went through a lot of health issues myself, thought I was doing everything right, then learnt more about the nutrition side and everything like that and changed my whole life. And by doing that, I wanted to help other people as well and avoid making the same mistakes that I did when I was younger.
I've seen your posts come up a lot in Vegan Girls Melbourne, especially on nutrition related posts. Have you noticed the crazy amount of questions about protein powder that have been coming through in the group?
I have. One that appears all the time is bad. You stop bloating and all the gas buildups in your body and everything like that, because protein powders can have a tendency to be quite hard on the intestines and on the gut.
And why is that?
So quite often it's because of the quality of the protein powder, especially when we're vegan or plant-based. There's a lot of fiber already in our diet, and protein powders are very full of fiber, especially the vegan ones. The other problem is that there is a high level of alcohol sugars in there as well. So the more sugars that there are and the more fiber that there are, that just messes with our guts, and that causes the bloating and everything like that. So usually what I recommend for clients is make sure you get a gluten-free protein powder, so it's not filled with all these fillers and things that bind the protein powder, which makes it really hard to digest. Go for one that is sugar-free, especially from artificial sugars. Go for natural sugars if you have to. And go for one as well that has digestive enzymes in it. They help to break it down and make it go through your gut a lot easier, and don't mix too much with it. So a lot of mistakes people make quite often is they put fibrous foods in with the protein powder when they make a smoothie, and that just causes havoc in your gut because your gut can't process it all. Hence why we bloat and we feel uncomfortable.
What are the benefits of having a vegan protein powder rather than a non-vegan protein powder?
The non-vegan protein powders are very high in acid. You also find that a lot of them have a lot of fillers, a lot of sugars, a lot of unnecessary ingredients. They also somehow contain lead and binders and everything like that. And if you actually have a look into all of them, they're not good at all. Most of them are just sugary powders that are labeled as great and have a hit of protein in there. You do get some better quality ones, but at the end, the amount of acid that actually gets released into your body causes a lot of issues on your liver and kidneys as well. That's why you actually find that a lot of bodybuilders who take a lot of protein powders that are whey-based and things like that have kidney and liver issues. While a pure plant-based one, for example, if you're just going for pea protein, won't have all the essential amino acids. But if you have a blend that has, for example, pea protein and rice protein in it, you've already got the benefits of just having the plants there and no actual side effects on your body. You're just putting pure good food in there with no negatives and no acids as well.
And now changing gears a little bit, there's another question that I've noticed pops up quite a bit in Vegan Girls Melbourne, and it's whether or not it's okay to eat more than one serve of protein powder per day. What are your thoughts on this?
I think it depends on what you're doing during the day. So my partner, for example, is very active. So we make a smoothie together in the morning and I put about 3 scoops of protein powder in there. So we have about 1.5 scoops. Now he does an active job, so for him that's great. And I pretty much am up on the go all day anyway, so I know that's going to be a good filling breakfast for me. If you're training as well during the day, if you're not having snacks and things like that, go for it. If you're keeping it just minimal and you're not noticing side effects on your gut, don't worry about it. You can't really overdo it in that sense. Especially with the plant-based protein powders, because they don't have the same side effects on your body as the non-plant-based ones.
And now, do you have any last advice to any of our listeners today?
Pretty much just read the ingredients of what you buy. Really educate yourself with what's in your food and what you're putting in your body. That is more important than anything else. Checking that there are no chemicals in there, no extra sugars that you don't need, and try and eat as natural as possible, because then your body will actually get the real effects of what you're eating instead of negative side effects, which is usually what causes bloating, breakouts, and things like that.
Perfect, thank you. Now, if you have any more nutrition-related questions for Indiana, you can get in contact with her through the Vegan Girls Melbourne group. Just search for Indiana Morgan in the members section and shoot her a message on Facebook. Indiana, thank you for chatting with me today.
Thanks so much for having me.
Well, that wraps up this month's podcast. Thank you for tuning in, girls and non-binary friends. I will see you in next month's episode, but in the meantime, keep an eye out for my posts in Vegan Girls Melbourne, because I'll be encouraging you to discuss this episode and vote on what content you'd like to see in the future. Stay groovy and eat your veggies.